And in preparation for the Shema, we gather the four corners of our talit. We gather our tzitzit in our hands. So if you're wearing a talis, please gather the four corners together at this moment. And as we prepare to chant the words of Ahava Rabbah, about God's boundless love, I'd like to express my kavanah, my intentionality for love this week. This week I began a new tradition, and that is every morning when I wake up, I read ESPN.com and JerusalemPost.com, usually in that order. And then this week I've begun watching on YouTube I-24 video vignettes that pull up on my YouTube account on my phone. It's amazing how the internet implicitly understands the person that you are. So when you wake up and you go on YouTube and you don't like the videos that brings up for you, that should tell you something about who you are, because very intelligent computer devices predict what it is that you'd like to see. So these I-24 videos this week were about a wine festival that occurred in Jerusalem. And I encountered a bunch of owners of the wineries in Jerusalem and around the Judean hills all around. And thank goodness the industry has revived itself, because it is the industry of the Judean hills in the Tanakh. We were once winemakers around the Judean hills. The blessings of the tribe of Judah reflect that all throughout the Torah. And now, thank God, we've returned to that business again. And this Jewish winemaker from Israel talked about this word that I had never heard of before, and then I immediately looked it up. And it's a French word, and I have not taken a day of French in my life. Oui, yes. And the word is terroir. Terroir. What does the word terroir mean? It means that the place and the people and the products are all intrinsically tied together, bound together, which explains why the French people and the French cheese and the French wine are all of a certain nature. And I thought to myself, I've never heard a French concept that I've agreed with more in my entire life. Because we as a Jewish people are bound together through qualities that we have to start addressing and articulating aloud. And what he was talking about was the ability to ship Israeli wines around the world, and for the world to begin supporting this industry. And that begins actually with the Jewish people supporting this industry. I was here not too long ago in this building when someone explained to me that the wines at their simcha have to be French because they have a very sophisticated palate after years and years of developing their wine acumen. And it struck me as funny, as odd. I have to tell you, I'm not a wine connoisseur. All the wines taste relatively the same to me. I'm a connoisseur of Yiddishkeit. And so I have to address this point because I heard it this week on I-24, and I have to tell you that whether it be Rav Kook or whether it be Yehuda Halevi, whether it be Nolan Lebovitz, there is a terroir of the Jewish people. And if your taste and your palate doesn't agree with the taste of Israeli wine, that means that your taste is not developed. Because the taste that we're striving for is not the taste of success of wineries. The taste that we're striving for is the taste of success of the Jewish people. And here we have to prioritize that quality above any other competing one. I have never ever thought in my life that I would watch a video about winemaking and it crystallized a perspective that I had held for a long time with a French concept that I had heard Rav Kook teach many, many years before when I studied Rav Kook. But the truth is that the Jewish people cannot just connect to Israel and to one another through the support of politics, left, right, center, whatever your particular palate prefers. We have to connect with the land in terms of its food, in terms of its wine, in terms of its art, in terms of its literature, in terms of its culture. And if that begins with the most simple symbol that the wine bottles on our tables at home and in this building are going to be products of Israel, then that's where we should begin. Because this Shabbos, we learn about terroir. We have a word for it in Hebrew. It's called seichel, common sense. To me, it is common sense that the wine of the French and the wine of the Jewish people not taste the same. And I would argue that it shouldn't. And we as a Jewish people need to begin developing our tastes, again, in the 21st century, to reflect what is being produced, thank God, by our modern Jewish state, by Jewish peoples all across the world. Not just in terms of what's drink on Friday nights out of a Kiddush cup, but in terms of a sense of our peoplehood and our togetherness.